Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the What Was That podcast. I'm Jazzy.
And I'm Addi.
We are finally getting to Thanksgiving, and I know what I'm thankful for.
Yeah, me too. I'm thankful for your mom. Hey, yo. What are you thankful for?
I was gonna say you and our wonderful podcast family.
Yeah, I'm thankful. I'm thankful for those two.
It is a little bit too late. The damage is done. I will say, however, your answer is better than some others. I am honestly thankful that I don't have any stories like the ones that we will be reading today.
I guess we can give thanks to that.
Story 1, Creepy True Thanksgiving Story. This is a story told to me by my roommate. It happened 3 years ago in 2022. It was the week of Thanksgiving, and my daughter's boyfriend had invited me and my daughters over to his family's house in Connecticut to spend Thanksgiving there. There wasn't much space in the house, so me and my daughters had to stay in the basement. The only people who lived in the house besides my daughter's boyfriend were his grandmother, his sister, and her husband. A few more family members were supposed to be staying over as well, but since we came late at night, I didn't get to meet any of them. We stayed the first night in the house, and it was finally the morning of Thanksgiving. I normally wake up pretty early, so I was up by 7 a.m. I was the only one awake in the house. I went upstairs to the kitchen and sat on a high chair. I sat for a bit, just drinking some coffee and relaxing before the day began. As I was drinking my coffee, I saw a cute little boy coming downstairs. He was in his pajamas and came downstairs to the fridge to get something to drink. I smiled at him and watched him go back upstairs. I remember thinking how adorable he was. Well, later that day, everyone was getting ready and went into the kitchen and living room as we began our Thanksgiving celebration. Everybody was together having a great time, and that's when I decided to ask out loud, "Hey, where's that cute boy I saw earlier this morning?" I was instantly pulled aside by the grandma. She looked at me in shock and says, "Shh, careful my daughter doesn't hear you. Her son died in front of this house a few years ago." I'll say that in a normal voice. Trigger warning, child death. Back to the story. Her son died in front of this house a few years ago. He got hit by a car. I see him too sometimes, but nobody believes me. My heart instantly dropped. I couldn't believe what I just heard. After hearing that, I couldn't help but have a weird feeling the rest of the time I was in the house. Later that night, my daughter and her boyfriend went upstairs to get some yogurt from the fridge. She specifically remembered grabbing a strawberry yogurt and putting back a banana yogurt she'd grabbed. As they headed back downstairs to their basements, their hearts dropped as they noticed that the banana yogurt was placed on their bed. We felt super uneasy after this. Thankfully, we ended up going home the next day, but I'll never forget how crazy those 2 days were. Hopefully, we won't go back anytime soon. Ooh.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
I will say it is in a way of trying to be positive. It is kind of cute that the little boy was like, "Hey, I'm here for the holidays. Like all the family's gathered around. I'm here to celebrate.
Yeah, here's your yogurt."
Yeah, Mom, you're not eating enough food. Here's a yogurt. I know you like banana more than you like strawberry.
Mm-hmm.
But that's really sad.
I wonder if the boyfriend whose family house
Killed
this
the
is.
baby?
No.
Oh.
If he knows that it's haunted. Because I know not everyone believes in ghosts and things like that, but I would love a little heads up.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, somebody just to tell me when I'm coming into a house that, hey, like,
Just in
this might
case.
happen. You might see this. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I would, especially, what if the sister did hear, or the daughter, whatever.
Right.
What if she did hear that, and then she got all sad, and then it kind of sends her into a frenzy. Then we get into, like, horror movie territory, where she starts doing a ton of different, like, rituals to talk to him. It's where we get talk to me from.
Bring her back.
Bring her back.
Oh,
And that's...
that movie gave me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah, and that's where we go from there, because she's trying to bring her little boy back, because you mentioned in passing that you saw a little boy run through the kitchen.
Yeah. I would just maybe mention, if you are bringing someone home for the holidays and your family home is a little bit haunted, maybe mention it. Maybe in passing, just,
Yeah. Just a cute little...
Do you believe in ghosts? My family's house has them.
Yeah. It's like when everybody came over for Friendsgiving on Sunday and Katie was like, hey, Johanna.
Hey, guess what?
Guess what? And then I had to sit and explain the George Thomas lore. I like how everybody is calling him George, though. Like, we actually don't know his name. We just named him that on this podcast.
Yeah.
It wasn't even like we came up with it after sitting and talking. We just had to give him a name, and we were talking on the podcast and just
felt
him.
right.
It just felt right. It fit him. That's who we know him as. Watch it be a woman. Georgina. Oh, yeah. Georgia's good, too. Or Georgina.
Yep.
Yeah. Gorgina.
Just in case that's the name, I'm not going to tease that.
Yeah, anyway, the story is really sad.
It's
It's sad that the little boy was coming to be with his family on Thanksgiving. Oh, that breaks my heart. My achy, breaky heart.
The comments are sad too, so I'm not going to read them.
Okay, yeah, I did read those. They are pretty sad, so.
Yeah, I'm just going to... Wow.
Damn, that's crazy.
How long have we been recording?
7 minutes.
Okay, we can talk about
I don't know what else to say.
I don't know what else to say either.
I'm just going to move on to the next one.
Story 2.
Okay. Story 2. I was feeling generous on Thanksgiving. I've been lurking on this sub for a while and wanted to share my story. It was Thanksgiving 2011, and I was celebrating at my grandparents' farm in a little town of
Seville?
Yeah, Seville, Florida. It's north of DeLand, as if anybody knows where the fuck that is either. I had way too much to eat that holiday and was about to leave to drive back to school in Tallahassee. I stopped at the one little gas station in town to fill up before getting on the highway. I had just finished filling up when a lady walked up to me. She was really ratty looking with crazy blonde dyed hair. This was in the backwoods of Florida, so no judgment. Sounds a little judgmental.
It's like judgment, but no judgment.
It's kind of like whenever somebody would say something like really gay and they'd be like, but no homo.
Yeah. It makes me think of that line, not to be racist.
There were really kind people who looked like that in those parts. She started talking to me about how her car had run out of gas. She pointed out an old junker parked over near the convenience store, and if I could possibly give her some cash to get home. I usually don't say yes to things like that, but it was Thanksgiving weekend, so I was feeling extra generous. I told her I'd be happy to fill up her car a little to get her home. That's when it started getting weird. She kept insisting I give her cash and that the car was so empty it couldn't drive to a pump. I don't know why I didn't leave right there and then, but again, I was in a very good mood. I told her if she had a gas can, I would put some in, but I didn't feel comfortable giving her cash. She kept objecting, but eventually went over and pulled a gas can from her car. I started filling it up. She put her hand on me and said, "Do you have a girlfriend?" I told her no, politely. She said she wanted to pay me back somehow for the gas and asked if I wanted to come to her place. I told her no, less politely. She kept touching my shoulder, thanking me, and then offered me a blowjob behind the gas station. So I stopped the gas pump, got my car, and left her there with the gas can. I called my mom a little later and told her about the creepy, sleazy encounter. She paused and asked me if that lady had ratty blonde hair and looked like she was on drugs. I confirmed that yes, that's what she looked like, and how could she know that? This lady was apparently all over the news. She was a prostitute in town and had been at a party earlier. An exchange had gone south, and her baby had been kidnapped by a client of hers and left under a bush in town. She hadn't even bothered to call the police about the missing child until later. They were both arrested and charged. I can prove these news stories if anyone wants proof. Okay.
Whoa.
Typical Friday night, or I guess Thursday, because Thanksgiving's on Thursday.
Typical
Thursday in
morning.
Florida. Yeah. I will say, that's a really common tactic for drug addicts. No shame, and people have like the disease of addiction, it sucks. It sucks so bad.
Yeah.
As somebody who had that issue when I was younger. But this was a common tactic. I actually had friends who would do this, who would go to the gas station and just kind of like sit in front of a pump and try to like play into people's emotions. And you hit an empath and they're like, okay, here's $20. And then that's that night's heroin, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
that's, I have seen multiple people do that. And especially on Thanksgiving, like when people know that they're feeling extra generous, like Thanksgiving is, I don't know if you know, a giving time, like giving smallpox.
Yes.
But it's people do feel just like around Christmas, people do feel extra generous. So, I mean, that's the time where people really hit in on those scams. I mean, you see the people outside of TJ Maxx playing their electric violin that's not plugged into anything.
All. Yeah. The first time I heard that, I was like, wow, she's really good. And I was like, wait a damn minute.
Yeah, and you like look up on your phone electric violin cover of what is that? Take me into your loving arms. That one.
Yep.
You look it up and that's the exact song that's playing, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
you're not actually. How did you get the money to buy that?
Yeah.
Electric violins are very expensive.
It's like, here's my question. If this is true, you're very talented. Go audition or something. I don't know.
Did you go to Juilliard?
Yeah, like-
by chance. No, I actually I saw a statistic years ago, so I don't even know if this is still true, and I can probably fact check this after. But I saw a statistic that panhandlers can make like $1,000 a day if they're at the right spot.
We are quitting our jobs.
Panhandlers.
Well, I've just learned.
I am gonna out myself. When I was younger, and I feel like I've told this and probably on the podcast, but when I was younger, we used to like make ourselves really dirty looking.
Jesus Christ.
I was in like the 4th grade, dude. And my dad was working constantly. When this was happening, I was living with my
9?
dad. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know how I'm alive. I could have gotten abducted. But me and my friend who lived behind me, we would like dirty ourselves up and we would go stand on a corner in our neighborhood. Why panhandle in the neighborhood? But yeah, we would go stand out there and hold little signs that said that we were hungry.
Did it work?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Nope.
I imagine like your neighbor driving away. I was like, is that fucking Addison?
Yeah. Also, me sitting in front of my house trying to sell 50 cents lemonade.
You were seen around the neighborhood. It's like, isn't that the kid?
I was an entrepreneur.
You were.
Yeah. I was there for the hustle. The hustle and the grind.
respect the hustle.
Yeah, just like
From
this
a young
lady.
age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This lady really was. Why offer the blowjob though? Like whenever he said no, like
Maybe to get more money, I guess.
I guess, but I mean, I don't know. Like
don't
he
know.
literally was like, "No thanks," and she's like, "Come on, let me suck your dick in the back of the gas station. Come on." Like
Tell me to throw.
it sounds like she like really wanted to, you know, like she was like
Yeah.
really after it, and he was obviously like not into it. So I don't know why like that was like I
Yeah.
would have just been like, okay, cool, walked away, you know, like.
All right, thanks
I
for
don't
the
have
gas.
to. Yeah, I
Bye.
don't have to do that. Cool. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna get gas in my car and try to go save my baby.
We used to live in El Paso, Texas, and my mom would always carry around those like big things of summer sausage and crackers.
Yeah.
Because she's like, I'm not gonna give money, but if you're hungry, I will give you food.
Yeah.
A lot of people did actually turn it down. They're like, I wanted drugs.
Yeah,
I was gonna buy drugs.
hungry. I actually am on a lot of meth right now, which is why I'm not hungry.
Yeah.
So-
I actually don't need any of that. That seems disgusting. But
You even got a quarter? I'll take a quarter.
anything but a summer sausage.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a big thing when I lived in Austin because I worked in downtown. There were like, there's a lot of homeless people in Austin or houseless people in Austin. And if I ever got like free food from work, I'd just like walk out and give it to them.
Yeah, there you go.
Same with when I worked at the state fair in Texas, there's a lot of unhoused people around the state fair. So every night when we closed up, all the food that we were going to throw out, I just wrap it up. And there were like the same like 3 guys that hung out around the parking lot that I parked in. So every single night they come up and they're like, "Hi, Miss Addison." I'm like, "Hi, here you go. Here's some jerk chicken skewers for you tonight."
Nice.
Like,
See, that's solid because that food's gonna go to waste anyway.
exactly.
So
I'll
give it to someone who needs
Never understand the like waste issue. Like, why are we throwing away food when it could literally go to anything?
Right.
Anything?
Right.
Oh.
Yeah. It's like some people are like, we can't accept it because it's not, like
Perfect. Yeah.
canned or perfect. It's used food. I'm like, I'm sorry. Are you hungry or not?
Yeah. That's why I give so much respect to people who dumpster dive. I'm like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
As you should.
There's people that do that outside of my apartment building, and honestly, I've done that. That's how I got my Harry Potter picture. There's some really good stuff that people just throw away.
Yeah, all the time. Whenever I moved out of the townhouse I lived in like 3 years ago, I didn't want to take a lot of stuff with me because Quentin and I were moving into our apartment that wasn't like huge.
Yeah.
So I had a kayak that I couldn't use and like some other types of furniture, and my other roommates didn't want to take it. So I was like, I will put it by the dumpster and somebody will take it.
Someone will take it. Someone always does.
Sure enough, literally I'm like putting the stuff next to the dumpster and a car's pulling up and they're like, "Hey, can I take that?" And I'm like, "Go for it." Mm-hmm. So yeah, but hey, this girl really wanted to work for it.
She did.
She's nothing but
like,
a working girl.
She is hustling. She is
doing everything besides taking care of her child.
That's for damn sure. Oh my god.
Anyway,
Yeah, there's a whole news article about it. Story 3. Thanksgiving guest. Since tomorrow is Thanksgiving, thought I would share an experience that happened to me in my home last Thanksgiving. I've been living in an octagon house built in 1855 for over 20 years, and I have experienced some things over the years which I have posted in the past. The last major event occurred to my family as we sat down for Thanksgiving dinner around 4 p.m. in our kitchen on the first floor of our 2-floor single-family home. That's a long-ass sentence. Okay. Shortly after everyone was seated, I distinctly heard an unmistakable footstep on the second floor above the kitchen where nobody was at the time. The steps continued in what sounded like movement across the upstairs room and then downstairs directly outside the open kitchen doorway. The steps began to approach me from behind, although I didn't look back since it all happened fairly fast. I could feel the thumping of the floorboards as the footsteps approached. Before I had a chance to say anything, my youngest daughter looked under the table and said to me, "Oh, you're doing that, Dad." I said, "No, it's not me. You heard and felt that too?" It was creepy to say the least, and the weird thing is that only my younger daughter and I heard or felt anything. My other daughter and wife had no clue what we experienced. The unique thing about this experience was that only my youngest daughter and I have experienced things in the house, never my wife or older daughter. Makes you think that we are tuned into these experiences more than them, ? I would say, yeah, they're probably, he and his daughter are more sensitive.
Yeah. More susceptible to
Because
there was spirits.
On one of our recent episodes, I don't remember what the story was. It was there was a guy who was working the night shift at maybe a hospital or something. And one guy saw a ghost and another guy felt the ghost.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, it's probably just like that, where you experience things to varying degrees and...
Yeah. I wonder if that ghost was just trying to distract them from dinner.
Just like, hey, give me a piece of that turkey.
Yeah. It's like a cat. Your greed sickens me. You just see a piece of turkey move off the plate. There's nothing attached to it, and you're just like, and then all of a sudden it gets like bite marks in it.
Yep.
There's nothing there. You just see bites. Yeah.
Yep. Only the dark meat goes missing.
Why?
Well, it tastes better.
Oh, I guess. To some people.
I'm a dark meat person.
I'm a white meat person.
It's kind of funny.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I got it. Well, okay, I got it.
I know
that I'm bland.
Not to shit on my mother. However, there historically has been the habit of overcooking the turkey.
Yeah.
So the most palatable part left was
Is
the dark meat.
Yeah.
We've gotten substantially better with a meat thermometer. So much better. But yeah, I can't do like super dry turkey.
Yeah, I think my turkey turned out.
Your turkey turned out really good, which is why I'm
turned out-
excited to take some leftovers home and eat those for dinner.
But that's why I'm like, I like the light meat because it's juicy and it's nice. I don't know why. I just like. I think it's because it's more fatty and there's like more tendons and stuff on it, and I can't do that. Like I don't like eating chicken wings because I don't like eating off the bone. I'll eat a turkey leg, but until I get to a tendon or a bone, and then I'm done. Yeah, like I'm like, nope. Thank you. I'm good. You know?
I always want a turkey leg at the Ren Fair.
Yeah.
Because every year I forget that I actually don't want to eat the whole thing. I don't want to eat that much. At a certain point, I'm just holding this like hunk of meat that
So I like
feel
splitting
weird about
them
it.
because I'm like, I just want like 5 or 6 bites, and then I'm good. And then I'm good.
Yeah.
And then I feel like I did something. You know?
Holding my $20 thing. I think last year I was like putting it in my purse. I was like, I guess I'll
Yeah,
nibble
you
on
did.
it later.
You literally were like, I'll take it home. I was like, go girl.
Yeah.
Take
I was like, I
shit
spent
home.
the money on it.
Yeah, you gotta eat it. There are hungry kids everywhere.
There's hungry kids. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this goddamn fucking turkey leg.
I'm never gonna like not think that now. That was like the funniest joke I've made in a while. For context, I made a joke about receiving cunnilingus and not being able to complain about how you receive cunnilingus because some people don't, and I compared it to starving children in finishing your dinner. That's all.
I worked so hard on this. I've been cooking it all day just for you. You don't even
warming
enjoy
it up for you.
Yeah.
Seasoning it.
There's some herbs and spices happening.
I took a long walk today. It's nice and seasoned for you. Ew. Sorry. Anyway. Man, that ghost be crazy.
That's so crazy that you experienced it. That was so crazy that you experienced it.
That's okay. This episode could be 30 minutes. I'm not worried about.
Oh, this comment says, do you both happen to be the only ones who have negative blood? I've seen this correlation a few times. What is your blood? I'm an A positive. I got like, I remember learning that in like 4th grade, and I was like badgering my mom. I was like, I have to know what blood I have.
I have learned it so many times. It has not, for some reason, stuck in my head, like at all. And I remember every single time, I'm like, oh, okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. Does not stick.
Yeah.
Does not stick.
Yeah. My dad is an O negative.
Yeah.
Universal donor.
Yeah. I know I'm one of the cool ones, but I don't remember.
Maybe an O.
I don't remember. It's probably in my our like healthcare app.
Probably.
It's probably in there.
Yeah. They should know that. Yeah.
Yeah, because I've gotten blood a million times, so I'm sure it's in there somewhere. Maybe I'll look later.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I was like obsessed with knowing, but terrified of getting my blood drawn.
Yeah.
So they had to use the like butterfly needles that they use for babies, because I was really scared.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I wonder if there actually is a correlation between having a negative blood type and seeing ghosts. It's like the Sixth Sense, but that kid was just AB negative. Honey, why can you see ghosts? Oh, you see, well, I'm a negative blood type.
Well, obviously we're gonna go to Reddit
and
not
Reddit
read the
knows everything.
Yada yada yada. I'm O positive and have had abduction experiences, see spirits, and am a psychic medium. I'm also right-handed. I don't think that makes any difference.
I'm also schizophrenic, if that makes any difference.
Oh, negative female here. I once saw a dog man and some ghostly legs. I may have had an abduction experience. Wow.
not calling anybody who can see ghosts schizophrenic. I'm sorry.
Pretty sure I'm O negative and I have red hair and I'm left-handed. I've encountered things all my life and definitely can say I've felt things before. Interesting.
Okay, so now we're equating it to being left-handed in hair color.
Yes.
Okay.
But there's someone who's right-handed, did not mention their hair color, who also experienced. I don't think the hand has anything to do with it,
I don't
honestly.
think any of this has anything to do with
I'm going to
it.
call my dad after this, and I'll let you know and be like, hey, you seen any ghosts lately?
Yeah, I feel like some people are just born with it and some people aren't.
I feel like my dad would sleep through it if there was a haunting happening.
Yeah.
He's very sleepy.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly like that, actually.
Story 4. This is a creepypasta, so it's not real. A Thanksgiving to forget. It felt like my bladder was going to explode. We had been in a car for nearly 2 hours and Dad had refused to stop. When I saw the roof of Aunt Sheila's house peeking over the drive, I nearly jumped out of the car and ran the rest of the way. But Mom stopped me. She wanted me to help carry everything inside. I grabbed the bowl of sweet potatoes, stacked a pie on top, and potty danced my way to the front door. Before Dad could even ring the doorbell, Aunt Sheila burst through the door, arms outstretched, a big grin on her face, and a wide frame taking up the entrance to the house. "Happy Thanksgiving, everyone," Aunt Sheila shouted, but something seemed off. She looked very happy to see us, but kept looking back over her shoulder into the house. We all greeted her and gave her hugs, but she wouldn't let us in. She looked over her shoulder again, and then back at us. She spoke to us in a hushed, concerned tone. "I need to talk to you guys about Janelle. As you probably heard, her boyfriend Dave died in a car accident a few months ago. She has not been taking it well and has been acting pretty odd." Her words continued, but I couldn't focus. I just nodded along, hopping from one foot to another, trying not to wet my pants. Finally, she opened the door and let us in. I rushed into the house, threw the dishes on the counter, and gave a brief wave to all my family sitting in the living room before darting into the bathroom. I did take note that Janelle was sitting on the couch with her arm around some guy. Guess she found a way to get over her late boyfriend's death after all. I finished up my business and flushed. As I was washing my hands, I heard faint voices coming from behind me. I turned around to see a vent. Out of curiosity, I put my ear up to it and heard my father's voice. "What the fuck is she doing?" "Calm down, Mark. You know Janelle has always been a little different." I wondered what they were talking about. Janelle was kind of the black sheep of the family. She went through a goth stage that lasted into her 20s, and I've even heard my parents talk about her being into witchcraft. "Just let Sheila handle it. She said she will try to get her help after the holidays." I walked back out into the living room. I wanted to meet this new boyfriend of Janelle's, but they were nowhere to be found. They must have gone off into her room. Not something I want to walk in on. I proceeded to go through the rest of the standard Thanksgiving festivities while waiting for the food to hit the table. I played football with my little cousins, watched the parade on TV, and got to catch up with everyone I don't see too often. When Aunt Sheila called us all to the table for dinner, Janelle was already in her seat, and I finally got a good look at the guy she brought to dinner, and my jaw dropped. I recognized him from the pictures on her social media pages over the years. It was Dave, her boyfriend who died in the car crash. Ooh. I see where this is going, and I don't like it. He sat there with a blank stare out of his one remaining eye. Where the other eye should have been was a large hole, which also took away most of his cheek and his nose. He was dressed in a suit and tie that was covered with dirt. "Kyle, there you are," Janelle called out to me excited. "Where have you been? I don't think you ever met Dave." I look over at my dad, who makes a gesture, shrugging his shoulders and shaking his head in disbelief at the same time. I rise from my chair and slowly walk over to the happy couple. Hey Dave, nice to finally meet you." I was so taken aback by this whole situation I didn't know how to react. Janelle leaned over him and put her ear to his mouth. "He says he's very happy to finally meet you too. He has heard a lot about you. Sorry he's pretty shy about talking to new people." "No problem, I can understand that," I said uneasily as I made my way back to my seat. Through dinner, we all tried our best to ignore the situation and treat Dave like a living member of the family. My grandmother even tried to have a conversation with him. "So, what are you up to these days, Dave?" Janelle leaned in to pretend like he was whispering in her ear. He says he's been having trouble finding work since the accident. He was working at his uncle's office, but if he wants that job back, he needs to work a graveyard shift. Sorry, that was really bad. I just about choked on my mashed potatoes trying not to laugh.
I'm okay.
Yep. I looked over and saw my dad doing the same thing. Probably best to keep your options open now. Don't want to bury yourself in work.
Oh my God.
My mom and grandma both shot daggers at him. I tried my best to stifle my own laughter, but then I had to join in. Dave seems like quite the find. Where did you dig him up?
Oh my God.
Janelle didn't pick up on the joke and went right along telling us how they met back in high school and have been inseparable since. She gave him a tight squeeze and a kiss on the cheek. Well, where his cheek used to be.
Oh my God.
As she pulled away, you could see a goopy string of pus or some other fluid trail from his cheek hole to her lips. And that's when a chunk of flesh fell right off his face and into the untouched turkey and potatoes that sat on the plate in front of him. That was it. We were all done with dinner at that point. A few people had to excuse themselves right there, probably to throw up, I thought. Yep, I feel that. My stomach's churning. Most of the family left right after that. It was only my parents, Aunt Sheila, Janelle, myself, and of course, Dave. We all retired into the living room and continued to chat. Janelle had carried Dave with her, obviously struggling under his weight. Since the accident, Dave has trouble getting around on his own, she justified. That makes sense. He did only have one leg after all, and it was bent the wrong way. She sat Dave down on the couch and climbed up on what remained of his lap and put her arms around his neck. As the conversation went on, I started noticing something on the floor under the happy couple. It was a sort of white mound. Looks like you dropped something. I get up and reach down to pick it up for them before I realize it's maggots. A big pile of maggots was falling out of Dave's dirty suit. That was enough. I couldn't take any more. I walked over to my parents. I don't feel so well. Can we go home? Yeah, you're looking pretty pale there, champ. I guess it's about that time, Dad responded. We gathered up our dishes from our sides that we brought. Aunt Sheila and Janelle walked us out to the car, gave us hugs, and thanked us for coming. Thanks for having us. Everything went great. Make sure to tell Dave goodbye from us. It was a pleasure meeting him. At that point, a voice came from the front door of the house. I looked over and saw a single eye staring out the darkness from behind the door. It was a pleasure meeting all of you, too.
I have a question for you. At what point do you throw politeness out the window? I know this isn't real.
Yeah.
But, like, you throw politeness out the window and you just go home. Right?
Immediately.
Right.
No, like, literally the second you clock that's a corpse sitting with your cousin.
Yeah.
Out.
You
I'm
expect
out.
me to eat a turkey?
You expect me to go through the entire night sitting in front of a corpse?
No.
Just acting normal?
No.
Absolutely. I know this is fake, but that would never, ever happen. I'd be like, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
I'm leaving. If you guys want to stay, that's fine. I'll sit in the car.
Yeah. I'm not staying. I thought this was going to take a different turn. Have you seen The Uninvited?
Yes.
Yeah. Ooh. I thought it was going to take more of that turn where, like, okay, the main character is seeing someone who's not actually there.
That's kind of what I thought at first, like the very beginning. Mm-hmm. Then whenever he came out and saw that it was Dave, I was like, oh no, that's a corpse.
Yep.
Oh, that's a corpse.
Yep.
That's not real.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
Don't like that.
Aunt Sheila is an enabler.
Aunt Sheila is an enabler. Aunt Sheila is part of the problem.
Yeah.
Because, like, no.
How long would it take you to confront me if Quentin had died and I started, like, carrying his corpse around?
Is this a scenario where we have plane crashed and we're in the wilderness and it's winter? Because at that point, I might give you a little bit of extra time because he's probably frozen and not decomposing.
No, we're not Jackie and Shauna. This is right now, during the day, I start taking him to work with me.
Yeah, no, we're not going to do that.
Yeah.
We are going to have a proper burial or a cremation or whatever, and we're gonna have to find another way to, because he's rotting.
Yeah.
And I don't want you to get a disease and die.
Yeah. Would you admit me to some sort of, like, ward?
I wouldn't want to.
But would you?
I think if every other option has been exhausted, we could talk about it. I wouldn't want to.
Yeah.
I feel like that's not a scenario that I would want to put you in.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But if I was like, no, he's alive, he's with me all the time, look, here's his head that I carry around with me.
I'm going to call Sarah. And I'm going to call Gabby. And we're just going to get on a little plane. And they're going to help me get rid of the head and deal with what happens when you realize the head's not there anymore.
Intervention?
Yeah.
Oh.
Or, I know someone who, she used to do props for Broadway. I bet she knows someone who could make a head, and maybe we'll make a very convincing head. So we'll give Quentin a proper burial so his soul can lay to rest.
Yeah.
And then we'll just have a fake head. And we'll, stuff, like, sardines in there so it smells weird. So you believe it's true.
And you,
know?
like, kind of make it kind of goopy. So that way I, like, really buy into it. Yeah.
Yeah. Until you're like, okay, I'm ready to let go of this head now. And you give it a little forehead kiss and then you let it go.
I don't like that they included, like, here's, like, a little bit of a goth phase and into witchcraft. Like, that has anything to do with it?
Anyone could do this. You know who did this? Cheryl in Riverdale. She had her brother's corpse, and she was, like, talking to it. You hungry? I was about to say feeding it. It knew.
All this talk of corpses and maggots is making me so hungry.
I'm never going to eat orzo again.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Thanks, Butcher and Blackbird.
I loved orzo.
Yeah.
And I have to let it go, because anytime it's like, maybe I'll circle back, maggots come back up. I'm like,
yeah. Bryn Weaver actually made a TikTok where she was like, somebody asked her, like, can you still eat orzo? Like, can you still eat this? And she was, like, literally eating a bowl of orzo.
yeah.
And she, like, explained how she came up with that, like, line, essentially. And she was like, it was pretty much this. I was eating some orzo, and I was like, man, these look like maggots. I'm like, girl, and you're still eating them?
Yeah.
That's wild. Well,
Rip.
Goodbye. This candle has lasted us almost a year, guys.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a really sad sight. Well, it lasted till the end of the episode. I feel like we have to appreciate that.
Countless tales. How
Yeah.
amazing.
I know.
Well, I think I could come up with a few more things to be thankful for after reading those terrifying stories.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. But like we said at the top of the show, we are so thankful for all of you listeners who keep joining us every week for episodes. And for everyone that's joining us for the first time or second time, or anyone else, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Follow us on every social media that you can find us at _the pod. And make sure you listen on Spotify and Apple and all of that fun stuff. You can keep going to YouTube, but if you go to the other sites, that would be cool too. And if you would like to share your own story with us, you can email us at whatwasthat.thepod@gmail.com, and we'd be extra thankful for that.
So, what are your plans for tomorrow? Anything good?
Yeah, actually, we're going to hang out at home and enjoy pizza and wait. What was that?